So just some extra info and tips on how to accelerate your fat loss. So if you've got to a point where you're either at a sticking point or you're now at a point where you aren't losing weight or you feel like something's going wrong, these next 3 slides can be the difference between weight loss, weight gain or weight management, and these are all things that are controlled outside of the gym. So these are things that you need to change in your day-to-day life to keep fat loss going. And this is without any extra gym sessions or anything like that, so it's all in your control. The first one is thermodynamics, so bear with me. This is also known as the law of conservation of energy. So it states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy can only be transferred or changed from one form to another. So pretty much your body cannot make excess energy out of nothing. When you aren't losing weight, this is honestly down to you're either eating too much or you're not exercising enough. It's literally that simple. If you give your body less calories than it needs, it will tap into fats and protein stores. Ideally, we want most of this to come from fat, not protein. This will result in weight loss over time. So if you're not losing weight or at a sticking point, the answers are you either need to eat less or exercise more, and that is completely down to you. If you're at a point where what you're eating now, you feel like you could cut back a little bit, then by all means just try and reduce your calories slightly, and that way you can keep your exercise the same, you'll be eating less, you will be losing weight. If you're at a point where you've reduced your calorie intake, you feel like you probably couldn't reduce it by any more, then simply just exercise more. So the next slide will go into the exercising more side of it a little bit, well, into a little bit more detail. So basically, again, all it is a lot of people seem to think that when they're not losing weight, it's because it's down to certain things like they're eating too much sugar, they're eating too much fat, and it could be all of them. It is simply you are eating too much. Your body can't do what a lot of people think it can do and go into starvation mode. So this is another theory that people think that they're eating too little and their body somehow holds on to fat. So this would go against the law of thermodynamics completely, because if you haven't got any energy there to give your body has to take it from somewhere. So that's how we create fat loss, because you don't give your body enough calories to live on just through your food, so it then starts dipping into your fat stores, your protein stores, and pulling from there to create energy. So that's how you burn the energy, and you burn that from, like I said, your fat stores, your protein stores, and our goal is to get it from your fat stores and not your protein stores. So ideally you want to eat under your calorie balance every day, but you don't want to eat too low. Like we're talking below 1,000 calories and stuff like that, because then it will take from protein stores. And again, if you ever hear anyone say, "Oh, you're in starvation mode, you're not eating enough, and that's why you're not losing weight," if you look at through history, any sort of, so if you think of the concentration camps, would you say they were starving? Because I probably said they would. Do you ever see any fat people that were in Holocaust or any camps like that, any prisoner of war camps? You'll never see anyone fat, and they were eating absolutely nothing. They were all but down to bones, basically. So if anyone tells you that, tell them to fuck off, pretty much. And again, you might bring up the fact that you do sometimes see. It's not a nice thing to talk about, but you do sometimes see in really poor countries, you will see people with like little pot bellies. Basically, the only reason they've got that is because their body hasn't got any fat to go into, and all it's doing is going into your protein stores. And when your body uses protein stores, it releases a gas that then gives them the bloated belly. So they're not actually overweight or they're not actually got fat on them. It's literally just that chemical reaction. So moving on. So NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is pretty much any exercise you do that isn't in the gym. So this is literally walking, sitting around fidgeting. It could be literally anything. You could go into a lot of detail into it. So a good sort of thing to aim for is the 10,000 step mark. A lot of phones have step counts on them now. A lot of watches do. I've got a Fitbit that has a watch on that has a step count on it, so they all track steps now. And you could easily burn up to around 400 calories a day. This all again depends on you, your height, weight, and age. You could easily burn an extra few hundred calories a day just through walking. So the saying, you burn more calories outside the gym over a week than you do in the gym. So if you think you go to the gym 3 days a week, 2 days a week on average, and most of your time is spent outside the gym. So think, how much extra walking could you do? So say for instance, if you're struggling to lose weight and you still take the escalator or the lift when there's stairs next door, good little tip for you, use the stairs. It can add up so much without even having to change or reduce how much you're eating. Just walk more. Simply, literally, any spare time you've got or some spare time you've got in the evening or in the morning, walk 15 minutes from your house and then walk back. It's literally that simple. You can easily add up loads of extra steps. Things like that, or if you work in an office and you go to get water, don't have a bottle at your desk. Literally have a cup and go and refill it. Extra steps, anything like that you can do is going to help. So these are things that you can do that won't affect, it won't cost anything, it won't affect how much you're eating. All you've got to do is just literally move a little bit more and the difference will be insane. Because a lot of people live the sedentary lives now where they sit down on the way to work, they sit down at work, they sit down on the way home from work, and then they maybe go to the gym one day and then sit down again. I'm not saying everyone has that job, because I know a lot of you have very highly active jobs, so if that's the case, then you're probably not in this discussion. But again, if you're in a highly active job and you're still overweight, easy way to do it is try and walk a bit more. Anything like that will help. And again, we come down to the energy balance equation. I need to address this again because I still feel like people aren't getting it, and I do feel like a broken record. But there's no breaking this. This is as black and white as it gets. So calories in versus calories out. If you look at the graph next to it, you see the top one is weight maintenance. So this is an isocaloric balance. So this is you're eating as much as you're burning. So you are staying at a neutral level, so your weight maintenance there. If you want to lose weight, you need to burn more than you're eating. So if you can see the graph, the calories out outweighs the calories in. So if you are eating less than you are burning, your body then has to dig into its fat stores and you will lose weight. There are no two ways about it. Even if you don't think you eat a lot, really think about it. Some of the things that may add up, like the cooking oils, there's a video on that. Sauces, little snacks that you may not even think will count to it. They all count. And again, if your goal is weight gain, you need to eat more than you're expending. So pretty much if you're burning 2,200 calories a day and you're eating 2,400 calories, you will put on weight. It's that simple. So a lot of this you may have heard me say before, but I really need to drum it into everyone because it's not sinking in. So these are just 3 tips that you can change your weight loss, the speed it's happening, without spending a single penny. Maybe it's a lot more effort, but again, you need to change your lifestyle to keep the weight loss off. So it's not just about losing it one time only, it's about losing it and keeping it off. So again, apologies if I sound like a broken record when it comes to the calories in versus calories out. But there's a lot of contradicting, not evidence, people just talking shit about how certain things are making you fat, when in reality you're just eating too much, or if you need to put on weight, you aren't eating enough. So again, you can use both of all of these slides to help for either goal. If you feel like you need to put on a bit of muscle and you're struggling to because your calories out is too high, then reduce the amount of activity you do. It sounds counterproductive, but reduce it. If you go to the gym 6-7 days a week, condense it to 3. If you're walking 15,000 steps, find ways that you can reduce that and save yourself some calories. Or if you don't want to do that, or you can't do that because your job's too active, then eat a bit more. And again, you can look at the other slide where it goes to the macronutrients, and you'll find ways that you can eat more by just including a few different food groups. So Again, any questions on this, anything you haven't got, anything you still need me to go through, then please put it in the group so then we can all see it and we can all learn from it. But until then, I will see you next week. So thanks again for listening.